style there with AV Boxing News. We're here with middleweight contender Tureano Johnson. How's everything?
I can't complain, man. I've gotten used to the weather now. Hey, you gotta be tough to be in the cold.
Of course.
Yeah.
Less than 2 weeks, we're scheduled to face David Lemieux, a very powerful puncher at middleweight division, former champion himself. How did that fight come about? Exactly.
And you know what? It's a fight I've been praying for years. I don't know if you know about the time when he fought Triple G.
Yes.
You know, it was almost a close opportunity for me to fight David Lemieux at that time, but he opted not to go in that direction and chose to fight Triple G instead of fighting me, which would have made sense financially wise. But it's a fight I've been praying to God for, and thank God he heard my prayers, and now this fight is about to take place.
In terms of David Lemieux, he's had experience with some of the top guys at middleweight, the Triple G. He's knocked out Curtis Stevens that trains in his gym. He's fought a couple good guys in the middleweight division. Yourself too. In terms of this fight, do you feel like he's underestimating you? Because he's talking about how he wants to fight Canelo. That winning this fight, he gets Canelo. You can spoil that plan for him. So you winning this fight, can you fight Canelo next?
Well, it is. I must say, David Lemieux, I can't say no disrespect to the guy. He does have high hopes and he does have an opportunity to show himself and show the best. But he has been in there with the best, and at the same time, he has shown that he has a whole lot of flaws. And he was unsuccessful in many of his challenges against some of the top fighters in the world. But I think and I feel strong that this is a beautiful fight for both me and him. The percentage of the fight, I don't even want to say, but I give myself the credit that I have the upper hand. Regardless of, they call it ring rust. I've been out of the ring for 14 months going into the fight with Curtis Stevens, and you know what? Nothing pleases me more when I'm in the front of a crowd, especially at the Madison Square Garden, which is the greatest crowd. I mean, that's the pinnacle of a professional fighter's career, to be in the front of that audience. So you will see me show out come that night at the Madison Square Garden, because I know the fans are gonna be rooting against me. I'm cool with that. In fact, I love that. I've never really gotten an opportunity to fight back home in the Bahamas, so fighting here on this stage, it gives me something to prove. And to David Lemieux, to think that he's gonna overlook me, I don't think he is. I think he knew what he was getting into. There have been many opportunities that we would have bucked head, but I'm sure that he knew eventually we would meet. And so I'm sure that he's prepared for this fight. But there are some things that he ought to be aware of, and I dare not try to explain that to you now. But come fight night, you'll see a big difference.
I stated before when I started the interview, we talked about how we're in the gym with Andre Rozier. Now you're with Andre Rozier. How did that come about? Like, what made you go through this change in this part of your career?
Ain't that something? I'm working with a guy who gave me my only two losses, and it is something that I found so much respect from Rozier and off Rozier. A decent gentleman, and I must say, he treats his guys very well and very strategic as far as his training and his plans. And I'm admiring. I have always admired that, and now, working with him, I see so much more. Going down to training camp with Daniel Jacob and only, expand our relationship even closer and stronger. And so, it was from that moment that we decided to work together, and indeed we've been working together.
So you're saying that you spoke with Danny Jacobs?
I sparred with Danny Jacob leading up to the Sergey Devenchenko fight.
Wow, how powerful is Danny Jacobs' punches, or in terms of his skills? Like, it's different for me, right? As a fan or boxing media personnel that sees it from the outside, but you in the inside, like, can you just kind of give us some details on how good is Danny Jacobs?
Well, I would say that, above everything with Daniel Jacob, his power is nothing to be so threatening of, yet that he does have incredible power. But his techniques are one that you have to really emphasize and focus on a lot, because the way he operates in a sparring session does not look like him in a fight. I would have not expected him to perform in such a way that he did during the Devenchenko fight. Such explosiveness, but a very technical fighter, brilliant fighter, a genius in the ring, I would say. Almost somewhat of a Andre Ward. Very brilliant in the ring, but at the same time they're very crafty, and they do have the power and the speed. But Danny Jacob, hey, don't sleep on him. The boy can crack.
Besides you, let's say if he does get the fight, because there's speculation too of him trying to get Canelo in May, they're trying to make that fight. Do you think he has a good chance to beat Canelo?
You're gonna ask me that question? I'm with Golden Boys, man. Hey, I begged to not. I played the fifth on that one. But hey, hey, you know, I bet it would be an awesome fight. You know, you got Canelo, very fast, very strong, very technical. With Daniel Jacob, you know, has the reach advantage, speed and power at the same time. That right there is a recipe for a great fight. And you know, I say this not to hate on anybody. Before a boxer, I'm a fan, so I love boxing.
Of course. Even now at 160, I think it's the most deepest talent thus far with yourself, the Lemieux, the Triple G's, the Canelo, the Charlos, the Jacobs, Andrade. And now we're hearing a couple of the guys from 54. Jarrett Hurd, Lauer might be moving up to 160.
Wow.
How exciting is it for you as a fighter and as a fan to have those names? Eventually you might clash with them.
You know, first of all, as a fan, it is exciting to see these guys. They are the big top notch at 154, moving up to 160 pound in my division. I tell you now, they're starting to bring pure pedigree to the division. And of course, I believe the middleweight division is going to be the focal point, the focus of professional boxing. Be that the heavyweight right now is starting to have a climax. The middleweight division is going to be the hottest chili pepper in boxing today. And thanks, you know, for the fact that these guys decided to listen. We want to move up in weight, or they just probably can't make 154 anymore. But hey, thanks to God Almighty, I think he had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Make sure these guys put on some pounds so they can come up here and put some money inside the middleweight.
Of course. Lastly, before I let you go, I know you got to work out. Jermall Charlo versus Willie Monroe Jr. Do you think that's a good test for Jermall Charlo to prove himself of the elites at 160 if he defeats Willie Monroe?
Well, you know, this would be his second fight at the middleweight division, and this would be another second fight that I feel as though, you know what, the opponent was not the best as far as, you know, trying, but hey, a test ain't bad, and I believe that's what this Willie Monroe fight is for, you know, a test to see just how much further he can go as a middleweight.
Thank you for your time. Where can we follow you? Instagram, Twitter?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at Tureano Johnson 1984. Hey, I may be 34, but I look younger. But yeah, man, you can catch me up on those social media there, man. Hey, I'm always open, you know what, hey, boxing first, boxing fan, I'm a fighter.
There you go. Thank you for your time, champ. Enjoy your workout, man.